All right, should be ready to go here in just a second. We'll let the other stream get caught up here. We'll go over the market, go over today's play. So let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for June 1st, 2021. SPY basically flat on the day. You see down 0.09. Q's down 1/3%. Here's what the daily looks like. Okay, Q's and SPY. Today's price action, we did get a little bit of an hourly breakout failure. If we do happen to come in a lot tomorrow and the next day, or then this will be kind of the start of it, but I'm not expecting that. Okay, I'm not really expecting us to fall apart here. The Qs, yeah, we are underneath the 20 MA here on the hourly. SPY also a little bit, but it's still pointing up. Okay, we're still above it on the daily, on the Qs and the SPY, and then of course the weekly and the monthly are all still in uptrends. So I don't see much reason to be bearish right now. It would be an aggressive, very anticipatory to think that this hourly base leads to the next kind of leg down. I think we can pull back in some more, even, and still be bullish. Okay, so all in all, going into tomorrow, still bullish. In kind of longer time frames are the easiest to have a clear bias here. Okay, so in the next couple days we could pull in a little bit more, we could chop around, so not a strong bias right now. We've had a very impressive move on the Qs and the SPY, especially the Qs here, to recover from what was looking like a daily downtrend here. Support did hold, and then we had a couple trend days on the way back up here, a few trend days on the move back up. So the way that I'm interpreting the price action that we've gotten here the last few days is just a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of a rest. Okay, but for me overall the picture is still bullish. Okay, so maybe not another kind of runaway bunch of trend days for the next couple of days, but I mean we're still bullish. I mean the SPY is just off of the highs there. Okay, all right, let's take a look at today's plays here. Started off with the ENG. The ENG was looking for a breakout this morning here over this base here. You see the base a little bit on the sloppy side there. Broke out and then needed another kind of reset before getting to the first target. So actually was a topping tail first. And then you got this inside bar. If you want to bring the stop up to the inside bar, I think that's fine. Just because to protect against a breakout failure. I decided to let it play out. I wasn't going to raise the stop yet. So that was good because it did get to target here. But then the back half failed. Okay, back half came and shook out right there. So I lost a little bit on the ENG because I was expecting more. I only took 1/3 on this first target, and then was looking for us to get closer to $4 for the next target. Couldn't get there. It stayed strong. It did end up being a decent sized green bar there, but wasn't enough for me without taking out the stop. Okay, on the ENG. The ABT, I let this one go. Wasn't sure how much the daily congestion here to the left was going to come into play. And I'm sure it did to some point, to some extent, but this really was the play of the day, the ABT. Okay, just all day downtrend. I don't think I would have been able to stick with it until end of day. It did trail out on the hourly there, but I didn't play it at all. Okay, I let this one go, but good gap. Nice consolidation here under the 20 MA and then gapping down underneath the 200, right? Transitioning out of this daily uptrend that it's been in for quite a while, right? So you can see the transition to the downtrend confirmed by today's gap. So that's a pretty big deal. Yeah, so a mistake not to play this. Okay, on the ABT. Should have been played. I'll show you where the entry was. I did work out numbers on this. Ended up letting it go. I was right here. This 2-minute base at the lows. Okay, so I thought that was pretty good. I just wasn't sure about the daily. And, if I wasn't sure about the daily, then I for sure wouldn't have been able to live through the kind of this like at lunch pullback, late afternoon or early afternoon pullback. And so, usually if I am going to be able to stick with something till the end of the day, I really have to have that conviction in it from the beginning. And, usually it's not the case where once you're in the play, Now I'm a lot more confident in it, you know, with money on the line all of a sudden, right? So, yeah, I probably would have taken some targets and the last piece would have come out in here, so I wouldn't have been in it till low of the day. But looking at this daily, looking what it did, right, that tells us, and looking at the size of today's bar, there's a lot of opportunity here. Okay, so it's something we have to make note of and be ready for moving forward. Okay, and then nice play here in the afternoon on the IMVT. Okay, nice base here. 20 MA on the 5 starts to curl over price. 15-minute also catches up, changes angle here right into the little breakdown there. I went 1 minute bar by bar in the last like 10 minutes or so, and I just got tagged out of it before the next kind of 70-cent drop, which is kind of a big drop for this because it was only a 25-cent stop. So, you know, that's kind of a bummer, but it was already so close to low of the day or to the end of the day that I decided to tighten up on it, and I missed just this last like really nice drop. You know, it wasn't that easy. I did watch it kind of, you know, chop back and forth a bit. It really sped up the activity at the end of the day. Yeah, I wish I could have really stuck with it like really until the last couple of minutes, but you know, just decided to start trailing because it was so close to the end of the day. Yeah, nice gap down here, was basing, no support left in the way, and just expected this lower. Now I didn't have any plays on it in the morning because you know, it dropped hard first and then got bought. Okay, so the plan for me moving forward as far as the day trades, which is not that different from last week, is to let the plays develop. Now there will be some that maybe right at the open they just go. Okay, like let me see what the LX did. Yeah, like the LX maybe at the open you do like a high low or one of these early pullbacks, and you really have to be ready for this one. Notice though on the ABT, this one doesn't, and I'm showing you this. Now, could you have played this? Yeah, that's not my kind of play. Neither is this base right here. This one I like a lot. A lot of time spent creating the base, and notice it doesn't trigger until an hour after the open. Okay, so I want to let the plays develop. This one, like I said, didn't trigger until the afternoon. Could you have played something up in here? Yes, but this is like the ABT in that the initial move is too strong. I have to wait for some kind of downtrend on the smaller time frames, and notice, you know, the 5 minute starts to lose a lot of that morning move before setting up the next breakdown there. Okay, so I'm okay with missing some of these really quick ones at the open. If we were getting better gaps and I really was seeing, you know, everything go at the open and there was nothing to do after that, then I would be more aggressive about taking the 1 minute, the 2 minute high lows. Right now, I'm fine with letting things develop. Okay, long bases, 20 MA catching up, curling over them. That's what I'm gonna be focused on. And again, there's still solid gaps that I'm focusing on. Okay, so IMVT, right? We base long enough, gapping from the 20 MA. Anybody who was in this long, I don't think wants to be in it anymore. Okay, and then, you know, ENG, nice gaps, trying to transition on the daily. Although I know that these have not been working as well as some of the ones that are confirming the gaps or confirming the trends with the gaps. And then ABT is a good gap too. We already went over this, the quality of the gap, what's happening here on the daily. So I'm still, you know, focused on the good gaps, but I'm being a little bit more patient with letting the plays develop. So the pattern, letting it have as many bars in it as necessary, and letting the 20 MA catch up, losing the extension. So, okay. So I think that's fine because I haven't seen just everything go at the open and then there be nothing to do. So there's a little bit more confirmation by letting the plays develop. Okay, letting the patterns develop. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so that's going to be the plan moving into tomorrow. If things start to change, if everything's going at the open, you know, then we can always adjust. But for right now, the way that it's been, the way that it was today, the way that it's been the last few weeks is that can let the plays develop. It keeps you out of some of the opening sloppiness and some of the like kind of fake outs and stuff at the open. And so that's my plan moving forward. Okay. All right. Hope you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.